So again, I think it's a very exciting time to be in engineering. So I wish I were a student so I can get started on some of these things again. So now is the moment that we've all been waiting for. So by the way, thank you very much. That we've all been waiting for, the announcement of our student winners. As I mentioned earlier, we had a record number of participation this year, over 130. And the judges had their hands full scoring, and it was, I think this year we had the toughest time trying to decide who was going to be the prize winner. So let's, before I announce them, let's all have a round of applause, please, for all of our student participants. So as I announce each winner, I'd like the primary author of each poster to step forward, and we'll have a photo. And after that, at the end of it, after we announce all of them, we'll have a group photo with Dr. Zuniga and all of the winners and our keynote speakers. So without further ado, so we have a number of categories: experimental, theoretical modeling, undergraduate, and entrepreneurship. So we will start the awards with the experimental category. And we had a really tough time. Our chief judge is here, Professor Kay, and we were going to announce the first, second, and third prize winners. We're not going to do that because there was a tie at the top. There were 3 projects. They were all so close to each other. We just could not in good conscience make 1, 2, and 3 ordering. So we have actually 3 winners, and they're going to be sharing the top 3 prize money. So I'm going to call them one at a time, but just keep in mind that they're all equally ranked. So the first one is, the primary author is Alan Guan, and his advisor is Professor Jenyu Lee, the Biomedical Engineering Department. And the title is a Streamline-Based Design Guideline for Deterministic Microfluidic Hydrodynamic Single-Cell Traps. That's a mouthful. So.
Where's the photo here?
Next is Nathan Castro from Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, and Nathan was advised by Professor Grace Jang. And before I present the award, the title is 3D Printing of Bioactive Graded Nanostructured Scaffolds for Osteochondral Regeneration. That's a mouthful, and it's impressive work. So. And last but not least, we have the third first prize winner, and it's the primary author is Margaret Nowicki from the Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, and is jointly co-advised by Professor Grace Jang and Professor Michael Plesniak. And I forgot to get to the title, was the 3-dimensional printing of gradient scaffolds to bridge the gap between bone and cartilage for osteochondral defect repair. In addition, we have 2 honorable mentions in the experimental category. The top was so close that we have 2 honorable mentions in the experimental category. So I'd like to welcome Elizabeth Hubler, is a repeat winner from the MA department. And her advisor is Professor Michael Plesniak, and the title is Self-Oscillating Vocal Fold Model, Mechanics, Healthy, Disease, and Aging. And And the next honorable mention goes to C.C. Hunter, Uncovering Covert Timing Channels on Shared Processor Hardware by Ji Chen of Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Advisor is Professor Venkataramani. Our next category is the category of the theoretical category. And in this case, we have been able to choose a first prize and a second prize. Don't ask us about the third one. That's actually going to be shared. So, I'd like to start with the first prize in the theoretical category. And the author is Christopher Cox from the Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering Department. And Chris is co-advised by Professors Chun-Lei Liang and Professor Michael Plesniak. And the title is Development of a Fast Algorithm for Solving the Unsteady Incompressible Navier-Stokes Equations. And for someone who tried to solve these equations during their master's, I know that's a handful. So congratulations. Thank you. The second prize it goes to Mohammed El Gorabi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Advised by Professor Majid Manzari of the Civil and Environmental Engineering Department. And the title is A Simulation of Nonlinear Seismic Response of Soft Clays at Medium Strains. And next we have the third prize in theoretical category, and this is actually a shared prize. So the third position is being shared by two. The first of these is author Zuji Zhu from Department of Computer Science and advised by Professor Nan Zhang. And the title is Leveraging History for Faster Sampling of Online Social Networks. And the next third prize winner is Nima Mobadersani from the Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering Department, advised by Professor Sarkar. The title is Permeabilization of Cell Membrane in the Presence of Encapsulated Microbubbles for Drug Delivery into Tissue. And thank you for explaining this to me yesterday during the session. So watch out for those microbubbles in your blood. We have one honorable, again, since the top was very crowded, we couldn't ignore the next one, but we have one honorable mention for theoretical category, and the author is Alexander Berg from the Engineering Management and Systems Engineering Department, and it was and advised by Professor Jean Farber from EMSC, and the title is A Modeling Approach to Untangling the Complexity of Space R&D Portfolio Management Decisions. Next, we move to the undergraduate category. Some of you may know, we started this event originally as a graduate R&D showcase for the first couple of years, and then we moved it to simply the R&D showcase because we want to make sure that our undergraduates were recognized. So we're very pleased to have a large participation from our undergraduate students. So the first prize, and we only have one first prize in this category. So the first prize in this goes to Akhil Chandra from the Department of Biomedical Engineering, and advised by Professors Matt Kay and Nikki Posnack. And the title is Measuring Physiological Response of Bisphenol A on Cardiac Excitation Contraction Coupling. And I hope I did not kill that title. We have one honorable mention in the undergraduate category, and it's Anna Porras from the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, and advised by Professor Tianshu Lee. And the title is Effect of Solubility and Guest Size on Hydrate Nucleation, Insights from Advanced Molecular Simulations. And finally, our last category is in entrepreneurship. So we run a parallel contest in entrepreneurship where students present their ideas, their business plan to a group of experts from outside and our alumni. So we're happy to have this new category last 2 years. So the Entrepreneurship Prize, we have a winner, and then we have a runner-up. Again, we had a pair here that was very close. We had to choose one. It was a tough decision. So the author is Maryam Yamahi from the Computer Science Department, advised by Professor Simon Berkovich. And the title is An Intelligent Software-Defined Storage. So entrepreneurship. And finally, the runner-up in the entrepreneurship category is Benjamin Holmes from the Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering Department, and co-advised by Professor Belusu and Professor Plesniak. And it's titled 3D Printed Bone Scaffolds with Microvascular Network and Hydroxy, I cannot pronounce that, for improved HMSC functions. So I'm sure that's good work. And that concludes the student winners. So let's give all of them a round of applause. So I'd like to congratulate all of the students. We had over 130. It was a very tough competition. We had to give awards to some, but there were lots of very, very good presentations, and I'd like to thank the students, the advisors. I also like to thank especially the chief judge for this, Professor Kay, and his able assistant, Professor Vore. I don't know if Porvi, you're here. But they did a thankless job, so we really appreciate your help. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming here. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you can come here next time. Hopefully it will be bigger and better. I'd like to thank our keynote speaker, our platinum sponsor, our other sponsors. And now it's time to enjoy the food we have right next door. So thank you very much all for coming. And I'd like the award winners to come up here and take a group photograph. Thank you.